Hello everyone, we're back today doing another CSS battle. I'm still definitely not an expert, but hopefully you stick around and you can learn some things from my mistakes today. If you haven't used this website before, this is CSS battle. The aim is to create a piece of interesting art using HTML and CSS, and also using the least amount of code possible to get the best possible score on the leaderboards. I just found it a fun thing that I can do every day, something to try and hold myself accountable to, and something that has already helped me improve my CSS skills. So hopefully it can help you too. And let's jump straight into it today. So the first thing I always do is get rid of the ending style tag, because that actually is allowed and can reduce the amount of characters. I'm going to try and talk my way through it and try and talk more about what I'm thinking through today, rather than trying to have so much long pauses like I've had in previous videos maybe. So if we start off with setting the body, we can set a background color to that. Today I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do, and I'm hoping it's going to be easy, but these things never seem to turn out very easy. So if we can start like that, and then I'm going to try and set these to a P tag. And something I've learned from watching some other people on YouTube, so shout out to, I believe, WebDevCody and the Syntax YouTube channel. I've noticed you can just put any kind of character on an element like this, and you can then target it with square brackets A, and that reduces the characters a lot, because otherwise I'd usually use ID or class here, whereas now I can literally just use one single character. So now we've got two of them, P tags. We're going to set the background to the blue. We're going to make these 50. They might need to be a little bit bigger. Let's just make them 70 for now. And these are going to be our, what look like to be quarter circles. So we can set a border radius like this. I think we can do 0, and if we go 100% and then 0, 0, there we go. That looks fairly close there. If we set that to a position of absolute, so we don't have to get rid of the P tag default styling, we can set this to a bottom 0. Maybe we do have to get rid of some of the P tags then. That's no. Padding? No, it's margin, isn't it? Margin 0. There we go. And left of 0. That's fairly close though. Needs to be a little bit smaller. Let's change 60. That is looking good. So my idea here is to set a border, a thick border, to try and overlap this square in the middle. But looking at it now, I really hope that it is the correct curvature, because otherwise I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. But let's give it a go now. If we position, actually, let's just set the P for now, and then you can use A and B. Actually, I might even need to use A there. Let's try B. So we can tie it again with the square brackets. Set the top to 0. Right to 0. Why is it not? Do I have to set important on that? That's strange. Just get rid of the white space there. Why is it not setting? That is weird. Okay, let's continue for now anyway. We can, I think we can, what's going to be less characters? Setting the border radius or using a transform rotate? Let's have a look. Transform. And then you can set a rotate of degrees here. I think that would need a 180 deg. Yeah. That is close on the amount of characters it takes up. Because there's less spaces, it might actually be... No, I'm still confused why it hasn't. Very confused by that. Let's try setting a left. There we go. Hang on, nope. I guess it's just left. 300, 350, 340. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, I think transform rotate is actually going to work better here because we can set the same border. Yeah, let's create the middle one first. So if we also set this as a display flex and place items center, I think we can do that. Let's put the div tag here. What can we get away with? Let's try doing that P as well. No, wait. No, let's stick with div. I think it might actually be shorter if we set that to A. Then we can do a height. Oh, might actually be shorter as well if we target all of these. So if we do A and P with a comma, and we set the background, cut that. No, doesn't like that. Why doesn't it like that? Oh, I'm missing a B. Undo that. That was silly. Okay. Where did that B go then? I'm not sure. So now we can just set a height on this of 200 and a width of 300. Or was that too big? Might be a little bit too big. 250. 150. Oh, it's 2,500. Oops. Wonder if I can do margin auto here. I'm gonna have to. Well, why am I? Here we go. Let's set that back to display flex center and paste the margin auto there so it's in the center now. So let's have a look. It needs to be, give it another 20 plus on each. So 170, 270. Another 5, 175, 275. Hang on. What's going on here? No, season's 180, 280. It's hard to see with this background color. There we go. Okay, now we just need to set a border, I think, on here. So we can do border, I think we're gonna have to do border top. And then give that like a 30 pixels solid. Yeah, let's see how that looks now. And you'll border top and border right. There's a dash there. So this should come out. And let's do 30 as well. Okay, so you get the idea. Oh, I'm gonna have to move the. Okay, well let's work out on this one first. The border's gonna have to be a lot bigger. And we're going to make it a background. So 50. 50. A little bit more. 60. 60. Oh, look at that. Perfect. And then the B has been pushed all the way out completely. By the looks, let's try 300. It's going to be 280. Okay, that looks good. Let me just get rid of some of these whites. Oops. There's a white space there. So again, the idea is try and get rid of as much white space as possible so you can get rid of as little characters. And try and get the highest score as we can. Is there anything else we can do here? If we take out display flex, okay, that worked. What about this? No, just display flex. I think we need that. Yeah, we do. Okay, that's one to note for future. Display flex and margin auto, set it to center. That is useful. Can we make this a P? Oh no. What have I done there? Why is there an extra div there? Okay. We make this C. And set this to C. Oops. I don't know if this is going to use less characters or more characters. We'll also add a C here. Okay, we can get away with that. Yeah, C for circle, I usually like using C. B is obviously that one. P, A. Can I get rid of this? Because, yeah, I can. Can't get rid of that. Margin. Yeah, I need that. Okay, I think that might be as good as I can get it for now. Let me just double check that it is 100%. Yes, it is. And I'll be back with you once I get rid of all the white space that I can. Okay, I'm back. Another quick one, a useful one to note actually, which I didn't realize until now, is you can actually, all the p tags, you don't need the closing p tag. So I've got rid of all them, got rid of the closing curly bracket there, got rid of the closing style tag, got rid of a couple of px on height and width, you don't need the pixels on that. So we're down to 322 characters. Let's give it a submit and see what score we get here. I've used a lot of little tips and hints that I've used from other YouTube channels here today, so that's not a bad score for myself. Let's compare it against some of the global stats. Average score, okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I know I've taken my time a little bit today and it's gone on maybe a little bit longer, but hopefully we can try and speed them up in the future. If you made it this far anyway and you feel like you've learned something today, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe. For more future CSS battles and some new things coming soon, and check out some of the other videos in this playlist. I'll link that in the description below. You can also find links to my socials and website there. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.